So which mythological figure was granted eternal life but not eternal youth? It was Tithonus.
Yes, a little bit of a classic mythology for you. Tithonus was a Greek mortal who fell in love with Eos, the goddess of dawn, and she got the king of the gods, Zeus, to fix it for her lover to have eternal life. But no! She forgot to ask for eternal youth. So she went off her lover pretty quickly when the wrinkles kicked in. He shrank too and was eventually offered a part in Celebrity Big Brother. Joke. Carol Thatcher told me that one. That's a joke too. She didn't. It's a fascinating piece of research as well. More on that later. But first, who would want to live forever? If scientists did indeed find the elixir for everlasting life, the ambrosia of the gods, would you want to drink it? Would you really want to stretch your 10 to infinity and beyond? You'd have all the time in the world to do everything you'd ever wanted. True. But living forever might mean you'd have to work forever, pay taxes forever. One by one, you'd lose all your friends and your loved ones, and of course, you would lose your looks as well. Did you see the documentary last night on the Beeb called Make Me Live Forever? It found that extending your life was indeed possible. I think you could add 15, 20 years to your life. But trying to do so was so damn hard, it made your life a complete misery. Now, I can't think of anything worse than ending up like Tithonus, living forever but ageing at the same time. Am I alone, Carol?
I tell you what I think. I don't want to live forever, but I do remember in my 20s I thought that 30 came a bit quick. So what I want is a sort of extra decade slipped in somewhere, don't you think?
Yeah.
A couple of, 20 years of being 20, not just 10. I think also lifestyle does matter. I want a quality lifestyle. I want to be able to do the things I want. So if somebody was waving a magic wand and say you can have a pure, blameless lifestyle and you'll live to X, a really partying good one, and you've got to shave off 20 years, I still think I'd go for the quality and the shorter bit. And we are living longer. I think if you're born now, you probably got a life expectancy of close to 100. That's probably enough.
If you turn back the clock about 200 years pre-penicillin and back a bit beyond that...
45 or something.
Yeah, it's about, we've almost doubled our life expectancy in that time, which you think, well, let's roll the clock forward 200 years, Lex, and think, it may be 220, or 2212, that we might be living to 150, 160.
That I could deal with.
Really?
Yeah, that would be okay. I do think if, living forever, the time pressure in your day-to-day life makes you proactive.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that you've got a certain amount of time on this planet, it makes you do things.
Yes.
Now, I'm pretty certain already that there's too much stuff that I want to do that I know that I won't be able to. That extra 50 years might enable me to do that.
You're absolutely right. There's this notion that it's always against the clock, women and the biological clock, and then all of us and the mortality clock.
And there's another thing that I feel strongly about. I couldn't handle living longer than too many loved ones. I'd find that.
Yeah.
You'd want everyone around you to do the same, And I think the amount that you can take in one lifetime, if you double that to 200 years... losing people, day-to-day stresses psychologically. How long could you deal with that?
Highlander, there can be only one.
Exactly. And, he struggled.
And he struggled, yeah. OK, and Highlander, of course, is not a real person.
No, isn't he?
I don't think so.
No.
He had the preposterous accent for a Scotsman. You'd have thought if he lived for eternity, he would be able to do better than that.
Kevin Peterson. I'm reminded of the words of Irene Cara. Fame, I want to live forever, I want to learn how to fly high. I don't want to live forever, but I would like to learn how to fly. You just think of the negatives, and that's more Emmerdale, and that's more boy band reunions to contend with.
Yeah.
But if it meant that that by living increased the chances of kind of curing cancer or, of great people kind of being longer on this earth, wonderful. There are other people I don't think that elongating the lifespan is necessarily a good thing for.
Good point. What about you guys? Who wants to live forever? Let's find out. Amy?
All right, we've got a 71-year-old Bob on line 1.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning to you, and good morning to all the panel.
So, do you want to go on and on forever, Bob?
Yes, I'd love to. I would love to. And if my partner could as well, my wife, we've been married for 50 years, I would love to go on.
Well, is it because, I think Lex is right, because there is not enough time in our lives to do the things we want?
I'm at the age now, of you say, is 70.
Yeah.
I am now ready to pop off this mortal coil.
Oh, don't do it just yet, Bob. I need all the viewers I can get. Please.
I understand that. But I enjoy my life. I've worked hard through my life as an ordinary working man. So has my wife. We're now in our retirement age. And I think people die too quick and don't enjoy this life that they've got. These young people don't enjoy what they've got.
I'm with
we
you.
had nothing
Young people.
when I first got married. And really nothing after the war, and worked hard. But I enjoyed my life. Because don't forget, once you go from this earth, you never, ever, ever, ever come back.
Oh! Cue Christians, Muslims, everybody else phoning in. I know where you're coming from, Bob. Thank you. Our audience, what do they have to say, Eric?
OK, well, David here. So would you like to live forever?
Yes, indeed. Why not? It is a wonderful world if you've got the right sort of outlook.
Don't you think, though, the fact that we have a set time on this earth is the thing that makes life precious? If it went on forever, who would care?
But that's one of the
about
great
doing
mysteries of life. You really don't know that. That's a factor that you haven't got any control of as such. But nonetheless, you can make the most of the time you've got, and you can also look back and think the mistakes you've made and try to alleviate that in the future so that your future is that much better.
OK, well said, well said. OK, thank you very much for your calls on that.